Hello everyone, I hope traders alike were green on Friday. In this video, we're going to go over the 11 sectors and plus the SPY. We're going to look at the SPY on the daily time frame. We're going to talk more about overall market health in tonight's weekly recap. We're just going to take a look inside the sectors and see how they look. And of course, we're going to go over breadth in tonight's video to take a real deep dive under the hood. But this will kind of give us a look under the hood as well for overall market health as well. We're going to be looking at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly for each sector. So the charts are not perfectly in line like they're supposed to be, but we will get a look at the 3 time frames on each sector and the daily on the SPY. So we're looking back here for a year on the SPY, and we can see we went into a nice trend change earlier in the year with a really nice move up off of this little inverted head and shoulders pattern here. We were even moving up before that, the turn of the year, we were starting to push higher, and we were in this nice uptrend. We did have some nice pullbacks. This particular time right here while we were trading had a very nice uptrend, but you can clearly see the trend change here, overall downtrend. Plus we know about the head and shoulders pattern. You got a shoulder, head, shoulder, and we've been breaking down out of that. Right now we're sitting in this H cell pattern, and the 200 is right below us. That 200 is going to move on Monday. We're losing our MACD here as well. So let's go ahead and start looking at the sectors. We can see that the market is falling apart. The economy is changing as well. So we can see the communication sector, and this is the daily time frame. The communication sector is one that we've been trading, or we've been watching for quite some time because of that inverted head and shoulders. And right now it's trading within a very nice trading range. We had a wedge drawn here that tried to break out and got pushed right back into it. So at this point, we're looking at that wedge just turned into a trading range, and we need it to break out of this box. The communication sector has definitely been one of the stronger sectors, with Facebook and Google being a big part of holding them up. This is the discretionary sector, and you can see we are breaking down very small H cell pattern. This move here, very small, but still the break below. You can see this candle gap down, tried to push back up. Wasn't even quite strong enough to retest the previous low of the day, and then got snatched back down below the 200, and then got followed through on Friday. So the consumer discretionary sector, we are outside of the bands. Could definitely see some follow through here. That MACD is bearish as well. Doesn't mean we got to pull tomorrow exactly, but this chart definitely looks like we're seeing some more downside. We can see coming into this heavier volume profile bar, so looking like some support in this area here as well. See how we handle that when we get in that range. Not too far from it. Let's go ahead and draw that. We do have about 34 charts to cover, but we do have some time to put some lines in on some things. So you can actually see right there. All right, let's take both of those back down and start over. You can actually see right here, this volume profile bar here, we're breaking below the top side of that, and you can see we're sitting on some support at the bottom of that volume profile bar. I'm looking at a breakout range in this area right here, which we have closed below that area. The next big area would be down here in this area, which would be your 148.54-ish area. So probably can still see a $3 move down there before finding a real level of support. Would just be careful of looking to go instantly short on discretionary. Monday, we're going to take a look at those breadth charts in tonight's video. I'm going to tell you why I would be a little more worried about going short tomorrow. XLP, this is XLP's daily as well. We can see it breaking down here. You have this little flag down here. I've actually got it drawn out in tonight's video. We'll take a better look at that. We could be breaking that. What I'm seeing here is a possible drowning goose setting up. As long as we hold that 9 turns up, I will remain bullish. But we get below this 9, I'm looking for a move down. Target 1 right here, starting to set the drowning goose up. Possible more downside coming for consumer staples. Does not mean it may not push back up first. Watch a trading range. You can actually draw a box from the top of that candle area to your low down there, and you could wait for it to break out of that box. As long as this 9, we're holding that 9, I will try to remain bullish. But we lose that 9, I'm looking for a move down. It looks like it's getting ready to give us a good clear sign. XLE. So we're watching this area right here. This is the same, not the same chart, but basically the same setup we're watching in our regular videos. You can kind of see a shoulder and a head. So this may want to pull back, put in a shoulder before pushing up. If it does want to push up, we know that crude right now is strong because possible ground invasion happening in Israel, and all that drama going on over there. XLF, you can see here on the daily chart as well, starting to look up. Trading in this broadening wedge here, broadening channel, but you can see shoulder, head. This could be a possible shoulder. This candle actually broke below there, so we're looking for a move down. I posted this chart in the Discord, not this chart, but posted one just like it, the one out of the videos. But we are looking for a move down here. Because we did close below your horizontal support. Which now turns that into resistance. The one thing we have to be careful of is the broadening wedge. So if we do continue down, it's what we're expecting. We're losing our MACD. Does not mean it's got to come down tomorrow, but we are expecting some more downside here. We're a little extended, closed outside of the daily BBC where we open up tomorrow. But we do have to keep an eye on that wedge for a possible bounce when we do get into that area. The health sector trading in this channel. You can see if we do clear this channel, there's a second channel running through there like that. So make sure we're watching our trend line. This would be the first area that I'm watching. Definitely not as weak as some of these other names. Some of the other names have actually went below this area or much closer to this area, but definitely seeing some weakness, very tower topish there at the top of the trend line breaking down, which is a nice reversal signal at a level of interest. And your trend lines are considered a level of interest. So we have the industrial sector. You can see this one here trading like a nice H cell pattern, closed below. We're expecting more downside. It's right on the edge of that BB, so we do need to see where we're opening up. MACD is rolling over, and the RSI is cooling off here extremely as well. And you can see, I know a lot of people think instant bounce when they get down here, and you just get below your RSI, and you can see right here that really didn't get a decent bounce. I do apologize about that. It just kind of cooled off more. So we have to be careful with the RSI. I've actually been taking them off from the daily charts just so we have more still on the daily charts, but taking them off all the intraday charts for the videos. Nice break below there. We are looking for more downside, and you can see the head and shoulders right there breaking down as well. Once again, the material sector, another nice head and shoulders breaking down. This is like another H cell pattern here, which is a pretty common pattern coming out of these head and shoulders patterns. We see these a lot. We trade a lot of these, and just keeping in mind, how they act when they're breaking down is very important, because that's how we make money, is understanding how they trade. So we can see this nice breakdown here, closed below, got follow through on Friday. We're losing our MACD as well. And this is the real estate sector. Once again, we're breaking down, closed below, bands are opened up to the bottom side. Would like to see more reaction in that top band. I prefer to see both bands open up in both directions, but once again, we're losing the MACD. And we've gone through quite a bit down here to change this MACD with this move up, and then to be losing it down here, just not a good sign. Definitely looks like we could be seeing further downside in the market off from our head and shoulders pattern. So XLK, the sector is holding in better than a lot of the others, and the reason why is because I know it's not really a safety sector, but when it comes to certain times, like right now when a lot of stuff's being sold off, people do like to put their money into these names. So people actually run at these names kind of for safety, even though it's not considered a safety sector. But please understand that these stocks have boatloads of cash on hand. So, capital is expensive, and these big companies with a boatload of cash on hand will not be out looking to borrow the capital and then have to pay for the interest rates on the capital that they borrow. So that's a big help for the bigger stocks. And then the communication sector is a big part of the Magnificent Seven, or however you want to call it. It's actually a few more of the bigger stocks that do have plenty of cash on hand. But that's why people like to go to those stocks. But you can see it's breaking down now. This is the daily. We are below all our moving averages, losing our MACD there as well. And we got XLK's monthly chart. You got this big cup watching this handle. Will we bounce off this 9? We can definitely get a bounce off this 9. We're hoping to see something in October. Whether we were going to get the bear killing October or not, we've definitely tried to push up and then has pulled back. Still watching our monthly 9s for major levels of support. They are major levels of interest here. Utilities on the daily. You can see utilities on the daily been trending lower, been getting hit hard recently. We've seen a lot of options flow come in on them this week, which give us opportunities to the downside for anybody who was interested in trading them. XLB pretty much chopping sideways, holding a little better than some, but definitely looks like a close below this area. Right now, it looks like even though we did push up and put in a new higher high before breaking back down, I look at that as a trading range. So for me, we want to just draw a box right here, not being picky. Let it get at least below that wick. I would prefer it be below this wick as well for myself. So if it breaks out of that box, I'm looking for a move. I'm giving it plenty of room to bounce in there because it's been a pretty rough trading pattern. And you can see, getting ready to try to put in a new low, did put in a higher high. You can see it's really mixed up. So put in this higher high to put in a new low and did a lower high and then start breaking down, shows you downtrend. But as long as it's in that trading range, I'm not interested in trading it. Now we get out of that trading range, it is on. Go to our next chart. XLB on the monthly. You can see we had this, we just seen it on a daily as well. We had this area here. We did break up above before pulling back down. Communication sector. This is communication sector's weekly. We are still above the 9 and 20 here. This sector looks extremely well compared to a lot of the other ones. As long as we hold that 9 and 20 on the communication sector, that's a good look. It's also a good look for Google and Facebook because they do belong in that sector. Communication sector is monthly, still holding in, still flagging in. Where they got a late start here, really. A lot of charts put in this nice cup up here. We did get a nice rounded bottomish area down here and pulling back to the 9, but we did not get the move that a lot of the other stocks got. Communication sector was a little late, but we seen that breakout because we were tracking the inverted head and shoulders. Plus, we got this rising 1 right here that confirmed for a move higher. Rising 1's a very important pattern. A lot of people obviously don't even know about it because we kind of made it up, but it works. So we do got the XLE on the weekly here pushing higher. The 9 and 20 look like a goose head, and this chart does look like it wants to go higher. I'm only bullish on energy right now due to the issues in Israel and with the Gaza Strip and the Palestinians. That's about the only reason why I see crude and energy stocks should be pushing right now. Still got a decent MACD, but we are still possible goose head there as well. So we are watching energy. XLE weekly, you can see the cup on this one looks really good as well. I actually meant to draw that out. Let's get this drawn out. I had to change some of the way the charts were. I had never changed them. Taking the grids off from them, trying to clean them up so they're not so blurry, and all that makes it easier for YouTube to process them faster, so we get better videos. But you can see this little cup here. Can definitely see a possible handle being put in that area, and I'm staying high because once again this market's been slow, so I've been leaving extra room and not touching them candle bodies on everything, like textbook says we're supposed to, only because the market's been sloppy, the action's been sloppy, so I'm leaving my lines a little sloppy. I would rather lose or leave $1 on the table at the beginning of this trade and have a better probability of winning that trade. XLF, big bearish engulfing candle close on the weekly on Friday. Not a good look there. You can start to see, you can kind of definitely get a trend line down there, but you can start to see a M pattern with a lower high. So we can go pivot point 1, pivot point 2, pivot point 3. When price crosses pivot point 2, we're looking for a move down. Watch it at that 200 day. And we got XLF monthly trading in this wedge. So this candle actually barely closed outside of that wedge, but we could definitely do a little adjustment there. So watch this tomorrow, see where we open up at. I drew this line purposely on them candle bodies, but if we were to stay sloppy like we have been, we could still find ourselves still in that wedge. So want to keep a close eye on the banks tomorrow. Watch your 50-day, or I'm sorry, your monthly 50. All right, weekly for XLI, this is the industrial sector, looking pretty ugly. It's a very bearish engulfing candle there. So we have the industrial sector monthly was holding in well, come back, but we ended up losing that 9 last week. Definitely one of the better looking charts, was trying to push higher. You can still see the overall, this can be considered a higher high. That right there is actually a lower low with or a lower high with a higher low. So you can see something changing right there. Looks like the birth of a new trend starting. So see what we get. That monthly 20 is below us. And XLK trading in that little channel there. The weekly chart for the consumer staples. We want to watch our 200 on our weekly. Did get a high close candle there. Kind of a good look. That daily chart's not very pretty. And consumer staples monthly, you can see we're trading in this trading range, so we're looking for a breakout of that box. I'm not interested in entering this until we clear that wick down there. We also got to clear that monthly 50, but I want to be outside of that wick and below that box. Real estate the weekly chart for real estate, you can see we had a trend line running through here. It did push up through that, giving us a new area, a new level of interest up there to watch. Breaking back down, strong bearish engulfing candle on Friday yesterday. Want to break below this candle body before I'm looking for a move down. Want a candle to confirm below that range low there. So this is the real estate monthly. Breaking down, this candle did close below this area. Is signaling a move down. MACD is bearish there as well. Overall downtrend. Utility sector, this is the weekly. We definitely know we've been breaking down here. That was a big week down, followed by another week down. Did try to see some dip buying, and we did get a low close last week as well, trying to push back down. I like it below this area. Watch that still hammer candle, still promising down there. We see what one more week, the 1, 2, 3 rule. But overall, they do look like they want to go lower. XLU on the utility sector on the monthly chart broke below that monthly 50. We're closed down here. Month's not over yet. That candle is not closed yet. So the health sector weekly time frame, definitely holding in better than a lot of these other charts, but still showing some weakness down here. A lot of chop. I think there's better places to put your money. XLV, health sector, this is the monthly time frame. You can see this candle right here closed outside of my wedge last month. I want to see this 9 and 20 to turn down if they do want to move lower. That MACD is cooling off nicely. Consumer discretionary weekly chart, you got a falling 3 right here. So big strong candle down, more Buzo candle, traded sideways for 3 weeks, letting the 9 catch up. Come back, retested the 9, breaking back down with another strong Mobuzo candle on the weekly time frame that closed below your 200 and your 50, and the bands are opening up in both directions. MACD's bearish. We're looking for more downside on the discretionary sector. Discretionary monthly, yes, discretionary monthly breaking down. Watch your monthly 50 here. Candles not closed yet. Remember, your monthly candles do not close to the end of the month. And we are back to the SPY. So that concludes this video. We're going to take a better look at some assets, our usual assets, maybe some added charts. We're going to go through some stuff, take a look at breadth tonight, and talk more about the overall market and the things that we've been seeing coming into the overall market. Hope you have a great Sunday, and I hope great Sunday, and I hope you find this helpful, and I'll see you in the trading room.